I guess we'll call the meeting to order and roll call.
Bob Conway,
Here.
Wayne Feldmeyer,
Here.
Larry Hafner, Ed Hamel,
Here.
Rich Shield, Jim Weezer,
Here.
and Greg Myrie.
Here.
You want to go ahead and read the notice and stuff?
Yeah, before I forget, Andy said that you make sure to not move your mics, because if you turn it sideways, then it doesn't, you're outside of the boundary. So we must be doing that a little bit. So I said, make sure that you don't touch it. All right, so please take notice that an application has been made by Sean Allen at 4643 County 6 La Crescent for a conditional use permit for an accessory building in a residential district in La Crescent Township. All persons having an interest in the matter will be given the opportunity to submit comments relative to the granting or denying of said application. Comments should be mailed to the Environmental Services Department, 304 South Marshall Street, Caledonia, or emailed to myself and must be received by Tuesday, December 7th of 2021. Comments in regard to the petition received by this date will be part of the public record and will be made available for review by the Planning Commission prior to the meeting. And that was advertised on December 1st of 2021.
See Sean here. You want to just come up and kind of tell us what you have in mind?
Do you have the file in front of you?
Can you take a seat for recording purposes? Thank you. Thanks.
So what I want to do is go in the house. You have the
Page 16.
450 feet basically from the house. That's 110 feet from the center line to the other end of it. 20 feet off the property line on one side, on the Spolsky side, and on Peach's side, we're going to be about 40 feet because they've got the driveway there. So 40 by 60 building down on the bottom side there, basically be covered by trees. Two sides of it, so when people can really see it, because you can't see it at all coming from, if you're coming from Crescent Valley. Neighbors I've talked to all have a problem with it. Ron Beach, and he sent you guys an email saying that he's all for it because they prefer to look at the building instead of the equipment sitting down there. We've got certain trailers and more of them boats and whatnot. That talked down. We don't have a problem with it. Board. He's also lives directly across the street. I drive him directly in the driveway, so he's going to be the most effective. Yeah, I think it's. I can't build behind the house because of the grade. Here's an out there. Dig into that hill, it's going to be a bigger erosion problem. So. Runoff as far as drainage, well uphill. It's not going to interfere with septic, it's not going to interfere with anybody else's property line or view.
So you're just thinking like a gravel floor in there? You're going to cement it?
I'm probably going to cement it. I don't know if I'll do it right away, but we'll see with material prices the way they are, right?
Yep.
So, but I would prefer to cement it right away.
Sure. And then the other question I had, you going to do 16-foot sidewalls or 15? Or?
Sidewalls, we want to put 14 foot.
Yeah, so I figure you'd have to have about that much headroom. So it'll be fairly tall, but it's quite a ways away from everybody. So.
Right, and like I said, you can't, because of that tree line there on the south side, you can't, it's, and then it's buried because of the way it goes around the corner, the trees coming around the corner. You really can't see it.
Right.
I'll see it. And I'm trying to see it. I'll see it.
Well, it'll be an attractive, good looking building anyway.
You prefer to look at that than the equipment.
Sure. I go by there quite often, and
pretty familiar with the property, and it seems like that's the best location for the building on that
Yeah,
property.
just the flattest spot, it's drainage is good right there. You know, we'll do some more work to make sure.
Is there a septic in this building or?
Nope, it's just a cold storage. All right.
No water in it either?
No water, no septic, no bathroom, nothing like that. No kitchens, no living space at all. Just enough to get stuff out of the living. Out of the stuff.
You planning on building this year yet, or?
No, I wanted, trying to get all my ducks in a row with you guys and then break down this, you know, I've already dug it out and put, screenings down the parking area about basically the footprint size and then.
Sure. Any other questions for Sean?
He's having to seek variances then as well, for building in front of the house. And overhead doors that are larger than 10 feet, so there's.
It's 10 feet. The footprint 30 by 50, we're gonna go with that 40 by 60. So the front of the house and the floor size and the side and the actual side. Three things that I need guys. And I don't, my personal, it's out of the question. So you guys, you know, it's, I understand that front of the house in a true residential setting. And we're kind of rural out there, I mean, we're kind of residential in our area, right?
Right.
You know, in those areas, so, you know, we got Travis Zinke, which is what, not far from me, he's did basically the same thing. He's only agricultural, so.
This is zone A or
Residential.
Residential.
Residential, that's where we're at. When you put that addition. That's my.
Probably, if you were zoned agricultural, your setbacks wouldn't work because you'd have to set back 50 feet.
No,
So probably fortunate you are residential then.
yeah, I guess there's two sides of both self storage, right?
Yeah.
There's some reason, not some others.
Well, if there are no further questions, I guess we kind of know what you're looking for. So I guess if you want to just go back to where you were there, if you're comfortable there, that's fine too. And I suppose we should read the comments that came in from the public.
Yeah. So I had two comments. One was from the highway engineer, Brian Pogodinsky, and he commented that he doesn't have any concerns with the proposed building. And the second comment was from Ron Beach, that says, in regards to the application that Sean Allen applied for, I'm letting him go forward with the building as it will hide out his junk, which he said will be inside of said the new building. Thank you, Ron. So there are the only two comments I received then.
Like I said, the mayor.
Well, that sounds good. So I guess probably could go ahead and any more discussion on it, or do you want to go to the findings of fact? Or are we okay with that?
Let's go to finding of fact.
Let's do that.
I'll make a motion that we gotta take finding 8, 9, 12, and 14, correct, out of the findings? Right?
Yep. That looks right.
I'll second that.
Okay, a motion's been made and seconded to take those numbers out. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, I guess we can proceed.
All right, so number one, that the proposed use conforms to the county land use plan. The comprehensive land use plan identifies that urban development will be encouraged in rural areas adjacent to the city of La Crescent. Accessory structures are allowable within urban areas but are limited in size.
Any further discussion on that one? If not, all those in favor of the staff analysis of number 1, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
2, that the applicant demonstrates a need for the proposed use. Staff analysis is that the applicant is in need of storage for equipment that currently sits out in view of all the neighbors. Note that there are ordinances dictating what is allowable for exterior storage as well.
Any further discussion on number 2? All those in favor of staff analysis on number 2, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 2 carries.
3, that the proposed use will not degrade the water quality of the county. Analysis says that no impacts to the water quality are anticipated.
Any further discussion on number 3? All those in favor of number 3 staff analysis, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
4, that the proposed use will not adversely increase the quantity of water runoff. Analysis says the applicant states that his desire is to place a structure in this location to minimize potential water runoff issues.
Any further discussion on number 4? All those in favor of the analysis on number 4, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
5, that soil conditions are adequate to accommodate the proposed use. Analysis is that soils are 455B2. The soil survey in Houston County identifies the main limitation as the shrinking and swelling characteristic of the soils and recommends backfilling around foundations with suitable porous materials to provide good assurance against structural damage.
Any further discussion on number 5? All those in favor of the analysis of number 5, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
6, that potential pollution hazards have been addressed and that standards have been met. Analysis says that no pollution hazards are anticipated.
Any further discussion on number 6? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
7, that adequate utilities, access roads, drainage, and other necessary facilities have been or are being provided. Analysis says this is an existing residential property, so all utilities are present, but will be extended to the new structure. That cost is the responsibility of the applicant.
Any further discussion on number 7? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
So 8 and 9, we are skipping. Number 10, that the conditional use will not be injurious to the use and enjoyment of other property in the immediate vicinity for the purposes already permitted. Analysis is that the property is bordered on one side by Ag Protection District, in which his proposal would be a permitted use. The landowner on the residentially zoned side has a structure just over 1,500 square feet, but behind his dwelling. Overall, the structure will create a more visually appealing site for all neighbors.
Any further discussion on number 10? All those in favor of the analysis on number 10, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
11, that the establishment of the conditional use will not impede the normal and orderly development and improvement of surrounding vacant property for predominant uses in the area. Analysis says that the land surrounding them is fully developed to the extent possible and no impact is anticipated.
Any further discussion on number 11? All those in favor of the analysis on number 11, say aye. Any opposed?
12, we will skip, it's not applicable. 13, that the density of any proposed residential development is not greater than the density of the surrounding neighborhood or not greater than the density indicated by the applicable zoning district. Analysis is that the shed is not intended to be used as a residence and accessory structures are allowable in the residential district.
Any further discussion on number 13? All those in favor of the analysis on number 13, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
14 is not applicable. 15, that the site-specific conditions and such other conditions are established as required for the protection of the public's health, safety, morals, and general welfare. Analysis says that as proposed, no impacts to the public's health, safety, morals, and general welfare have been identified.
Any further discussion on number 15? All those in favor of the analysis on number 15, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
All right, so that concludes the findings then.
Someone want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion, we accept the findings as presented.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Findings are accepted. And then we'd entertain a motion to recommend them. approval or denial of the permit application.
You have the the conditions,
We should read
read
those
out
first.
the
Yeah, that'd be good.
conditions.
Yep, so you recommend to the county board that the county board approve the conditional use application for an accessory building in a residential district with the following conditions. One, that the permittee shall comply with all federal, state, and local laws and regulations, and two, that the county may enter onto the premises at reasonable times and in a reasonable manner to ensure the permit holder is in compliance with the conditions and all other applicable statutes, rules, and ordinances.
And with that being read, would someone care to make a motion for approval or denial?
Make a motion.
I'll second it.
And I suppose we should roll call this one?
So like this one, it says a proposed motion to recommend approval. Is that what you want? Just like a motion for 24 square foot or 2,400 square foot accessory building?
Yep, are you recommending approval to the board?
Okay.
Wayne, you seconded that then?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so Bob Conway,
Yes.
Wayne Feldmeyer,
Yes.
Larry Haff,
Yes.
Rich Shield is not here, Jim Weezer,
Yes,
Greg Myrie.
Yes.
All right,
I'll make a
So-
motion to accept their minutes from the last hearing. We have to do that, don't we?
Second to that one,
I'll second it.
and can we do a voice vote on that one, or do just a
the
unanimous?
minute, yeah, I think the minute.
All those in favor of approving last month's minutes, say aye.
aye.
Anybody opposed? I guess they're approved. Any other business that we need to talk about?
I do have a couple things for you. I was gonna let you guys know that they hired a new director, and he'll start Monday, so he may be due then in January, I guess, if we have a planning commission meeting. We do have one, we have one interim use application for January as of right now, so we'll let you know what comes of that. You guys have been asking about the comp plan all summer, and so I can update you on that. So the commissioners are looking at hiring a contracting or a company to do all the research, I guess everything involved with the comp plan. They'll come in and do all the consulting with the townships and public during public hearing sessions and everything, and then draft it. So we're working on drafting a proposal for that right now. And I think we're hoping to have that to you get to the board in January sometime. So we can send that out and maybe start that process in late February, early March. So that's where that's at. I'm sure we'll be giving them, if you guys are interested in sitting on committees for that, I'm sure we'll be providing that company, if we are able to secure one, I guess, some names for the different committees that they form if they do that.
So who will be kind of in charge of that company, or who's going to be working with the consultants or whatever? Will that be your department, or that be the county board, both, or what?
I think they'll probably work with our department, and then, I don't know how the county board will be involved in that. I'm sure they'll have some delegate that sits
Sure.
on committees.
Can you tell us who the new director is going to be?
Martin Herrick. I think he lives in the Cross,
Okay.
so I don't know if Greg knows any more about that. He
Sim
comes from
McCross
the
and works
DNR.
for the DNR.
Eric, what's the last?
Martin Herrick,
H something?
HERRICK.
Yep,
And he starts soon, the way it sounds.
Monday,
Oh, that's soon, yeah. okay.
Yep. So we might bring him in next month or making it start next month. And then I have one more question, I guess, for you guys. So I kind of had asked you about this a couple months ago, but they're proposing out on the Old Minkle site, I guess, on 70 or 44 out there. Joe Rude Trucking is looking to do add a building out there, and for mostly working on ag equipment, but they'll also be doing their any work on their tractors and trailers and things like that for the business as well. So I got a little bit more information. They're actually gonna take down all of the current buildings. And then that's just a quick site plan of what they put up for, it's just a single structure. And so I've talked to them a little bit more, and they're actually looking they'd rather rezone all of that into limited industry rather than keep it in ag. They don't want to end up having their scope of work end up moving into something that doesn't fit in the ag district necessarily. And so I guess before we go through the rezone process, I was just going to run that by you and get your guys' opinions. If I know I told them that I think we kind of, a lot of you guys were had thought that just keeping it ag and doing a CUP in the ag district would be all right, but like I said, they're worried that mostly what they'll be doing is work on ag equipment. But he says once in a while they'll fix up semis and then just sell them, so they'll have a little bit of incidental sales in there that aren't maybe necessarily related to the ag industry, and so they just don't want to end up getting themselves, I guess, in trouble for maybe doing something that's not allowed out there. So that's why they're looking at just rezoning. It would be the whole, right now it's 2 parcels that they're going to combine it. So it does, I think, come out to about 18 acres. And I guess I think it'd be easiest just to rezone the whole parcel, but I know that's a lot of acreage too if there's concern over that. So I guess I was looking for thoughts.
The 18 acres, any of it being farmed?
Yeah, there is currently some tillable, and you'll see the building that they're proposing is right now is about half in the like over where the house is, and then half in tillable acreage. It sounds like, they're not gonna, their plan is to just put that building up, and they will have hard surface on 2 sides. But the rest of it, they'll leave in tillable acreage. But I guess at that point, it's zoned industrial, so it could always be utilized for something else in the future.
Are they keeping the house?
No, that'll go too.
That's going.
That and the old garage that's there, and I think there's a couple other buildings in
The old TV shop.
Pasture.
I suppose.
yeah, and that's actually already, that's zoned highway business, but it's just the area like right in what the old TV shop was. So,
He buys wrecked semis and then he fixes them up and resells them, and then they want to do farm equipment out there too, I was told. Correct? Is that kind of what?
yeah, he said most of their business right now is farm equipment, but you never know, that fluctuates, so. That's kind of why they're looking to just rezone into the limited industrial district rather than just keep it in ag.
What is your recommendation?
I think it would be a permitted use in that district then. I guess the only thing is that if it does go to industrial, we can never bring it back. And so that's why I kind of wanted to run it by you guys to get your opinions.
Regarding Sean Allen, we could probably let those guys go if they want to.
Yeah, they have the 530 variance hearing,
Okay.
so that's, but yeah, so limited industrial district is intended to provide for compact, limited and highway oriented industries that may be suitably located in areas of relatively close proximity to non-industrial development. Like auto repair, and they might do some like personal vehicle work, and so that's a permitted use. There's really nothing within that district that is specific to what they're proposing, but there's really nothing in any district that's specific to what they're proposing. So we probably put it in other uses somewhere. But that's kind of where this is at. And you guys can think on it and give me a call back, so you don't have to give me an answer right now, but that's.
So what's 2 parcels are you looking at?
I think the building they have drawn out kind of splits it. There's kind of a long, narrow one right along 44, and then there's a tillable acreage to the west of that.
Yeah, those are the building, but what would you said they would do 18 acres, is that this 128 002 parcel?
Everything he has outlined in yellow there is.
Okay, yeah.
That would all be in one at some point.
And he wants you to go to industrial or residential?
Industrial.
So if we would rezone that to industrial, can they still farm around there, the land that is farmable?
Yeah, I don't know that there's anything that prohibits that. So
The only
that, it
thing
would
is
still be
that
allowed. This could
people,
be,
somebody could put another business in there without having to rezone it now,
yeah,
which is the thing we'd have to consider if that's what we want to do. You know.
Yeah, he's got a lot of
Use.
frontage right there in the highway.
Right, I mean, it's,
And then,
but you lose some ag land and that's, the thing
yeah,
we gotta be a little careful of, so that's the other thought.
yeah, that's true.
yeah.
Right.
So you guys don't have to give me an answer right now, but maybe stew on it and let me know what your thoughts are.
We can't put all 18 acres in ag, can we?
Can we go back?
Yeah,
I don't think, so from what I was told, you can't, if you were to go like back to egg zoning, then it would kind of be devaluing property. And so it's not generally, maybe Larry can comment on that more, but that's not generally how they like to move it. So once we move it into industrial, it would most likely stay there. And, I mean, maybe we could ask them if you think that we should try to make it just what's the, just what that building is gonna sit on. Maybe we could have parcel lines drawn there. The only problem would be we need, there's no legal for just that area, so we'd have to get that kind of taken care of.
We'd have to do a survey.
Yeah,
Who owns that now? Who farms that now?
I guess I'm not sure of that.
O'Shea Dairy Farms,
Does
Huh?
O'Shea Dairy Farms the land.
Okay,
He owns the adjacent land, I know, so.
I
okay.
don't know what he owns or what, but he's the farmer, probably rents that a little bit from him, I would imagine.
That, yeah, that would make sense.
He still could do that probably.
I don't think that'll change at all. Will it?
Yeah, it didn't sound, I mean, it sounded like they were gonna leave it tillable for now, what they're not using anyway.
So right now it's some in ag and some in that resident or in business.
Yeah, and highway business.
The one little shop. Huh?
Yeah,
So
it was
when it's
just,
18 acres, could we do like 9-acre split and have that be a industrial area and then leave 9 acres in the ag land or can't you? do
yeah,
that?
I mean, I can ask them, that's what I kind of seeing, feeling you guys out so that they don't come in for a hearing and all of it comes up at that point. So if there's some ideas that you have ahead of time.
I guess it's a priority issue as far as, do we want to keep as much land as we want, or do we want to promote business around the Caledonia area?
So I think we need to do both.
How far is this from Caledonia?
Not even 2 miles, I would.
You know where Joe Welch lives
It's
on
not
there?
too
Yeah.
much.
Okay.
Huh?
You know where Joe Welch lives? It'd be, when you go down,
Sale barn?
just before the sale
Okay,
barn.
yeah,
Just before that.
okay.
Okay, well, should we make a motion to adjourn this thing?
Whose terms are up this year?
Do you remember whose terms are up?
Not mine, because I just got
I
back.
think mine
I
is,
think Rich might be.
No, we get on the same time.
oh, yeah,
I
that's
think
right.
we're side by side on that deal.
Yeah,
I haven't looked at that lately.
I think it's Rich.
I want to say Rich is one for sure, but I thought there were 2 that we were potentially losing.
I think Rich has done his 3 terms, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Uh.
Are you up? You're not.
I don't know. That's why I asked.
I thought I was up on both of them.
I just got back on.
Yeah, I must have been too, yeah.
Don't say
Where
that.
we go?
Yeah,
You've been on 3 years already?
close, it's time for us to move.
Really?
Can we adjourn this thing? Make a motion.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second motion, somebody?
Second.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, done.